Hi, Andrea Leahy here, and I am going to present the educational trends and theories. An overview here, we're going to discuss different theories, the constructivism, humanism, progressivism, and connectivism. We found that those four theories connected with the trends that we want to implement in our classrooms: project-based learning, STEM teaching, and technology. And in the end, we will present how to apply these trends that are connected to the theories above in your classroom. So I will begin with the theories and the first trend of project-based learning, and my colleagues will continue with STEM teaching, technology, and how to apply in the classroom. Just an overview of the theories that we chose. Constructivism was where students are believed to learn through making connections from previous experiences. Humanism is students are believed to treat their learning as a personal act to fulfill their potential. Progressivism, students are believed to see the value of experience over learning facts. They learn how to think. And connectivism, students are believed to make connections with their learning. So how are these theories embedded in curriculum and instruction today? Well, I'll just kind of go through these bubbles and talk about how these theories are promoted in the classroom. So starting out with constructivism, Constructivism is a learning that occurs as learners are actively involved in a process of meaning and knowledge. So the teacher is promoting inquiry, is encouraging collaboration, and is also allowing multiple intelligences to be shown throughout the classroom. The next bubble is talking about humanism. So with humanism, the teacher is more the facilitator, where students are self-directed through their learning and they create a self-evaluation. Ultimately, the goal is to produce students who want and know how to learn. Next is progressivism. The teacher creates more of a student-centered classroom built on autonomy and the elimination of traditional teaching practices. So instead of those practices, a teacher may create ongoing projects, integrate technology, engaging activities, and then also have those student evaluations. And then lastly, connectivism. Teachers treat learning as a process through technology, and then there's always new information that's available. So it's more of this learning process. There's never an ending with their learning. Students see how to make connections with the past and the present, and they're always wanting to learn more. So with these four theories, I hope that now that I've explained them a little more in detail, that as we discuss the trends, project-based learning, STEM, and technology, that you'll immediately see the connections. So understanding the trends. So starting with project-based learning, PBL supports 21st century learning goals. So the goals are listed here, and I'm going to go into more detail about those goals. So starting with academic achievement. So in my research, I found that students that learn through project-based learning, they tend to understand the content better and longer. So they end up doing different methods so that the students can understand better. So with these big projects, and then ultimately the students do have to present their work to show their understanding. So with academic achievement obviously comes standardized testing such as SAT and ACT, but it's been shown that these project-based students actually perform better because they have a better understanding of what they're learning. The next topic here is 21st century competencies. So Indiana is a huge advocate for this right now, this college and career ready, and I'm sure it's a nationwide thing that's going on right now. But they want students to be able to develop problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, collaborating skills, the ability to solve conflicts. So with project-based learning, that encompasses all of those developmental features. Next, one thing that people are really worried about is kind of this, is it really going to help, the lower achieving students? Or is it really going to help the higher achieving, But really what's been found is that it's a promise of closing the achievement gap, because in the real world, you're going to go out and you're going to be working with all kinds of people, and you need to learn how to collaborate and work as a team with all types of learners and levels of ability. It's also very successful with diverse learners, and even so that people have taken on and created public or turning schools into project-based learning schools and making them graduation requirements. So specifically in Indiana, we are also looking at this as a graduation requirement. Motivation is a bubble because it's been proven through my research. I've seen, many teachers have noted that their students are much more engaged in their learning process because they're choosing what to present and what to investigate. And then obviously with motivation comes attendance and work ethic has really improved. Lastly, teachers have found that after they've been trained appropriately, that they are enjoying their job so much better because they're not up there just as the teacher presenting and handing out homework, giving out quizzes. They're more of a facilitator and get to work with their students in the learning process. Of course, with anything comes criticisms. Some of them are highlighted here in yellow. So a couple that I just want to talk about is that project-based learning isn't just about doing an activity for a day. It involves a lot of work and a lot of effort out of students because in the end they have to investigate their problem and defend and present their work. Another thing is that people fear that, oh, we're not going to be hitting the standards, but the project-based learning is supposed to be aligned with standards, and then ultimately the students dive deeper and understand the standards better than they have before. Another criticism is that it will take too long for the teacher to prepare, and maybe at first it would take a lot of time and effort, but it's time well spent because once you've created the project and worked with your students to come up with this type of learning, ultimately it betters them and they're better prepared, and it should make us as teachers feel better. And then I did kind of discuss this already, that it's not for students with disabilities or ELL students or younger students. And from what I've read, I've seen teachers that have all of those disability students, ELL students, and younger elementary students, and they've found ways to make this successful in their classroom. So with any research, it's good to note kind of the founders on, these three people. I found that they are kind of the people that then created this project-based learning eventually, not intentionally. So Maria Montessori, so of Montessori School, she's an Italian physician and child development expert. She paved the way for positive learning environments that form students into problem solvers. So creating that kind of environment for these kids. Jean Piaget, a Swiss development psychologist, laid the foundation for constructivism, which allows students to build on what they know. So by doing project-based learning, there's a problem, but they're going to learn new things and use past experiences to come up with solutions and work as a team to, like I said, to come up with a solution. Sorry. And then lastly, John Dewey fought for active experiences that prepare students for the real world. So project-based learning, the project is supposed to be more of a real world project. So that kind of makes that real world connection. So I will leave it to my colleague to finish up with STEM.